Good evening, viewers. The Idea Factory is back with a second session of Thought Leadership Conclave. As you are aware, we have started the Thought Leadership Conclave from last week, wherein we had two distinguished speakers talking on the concept and various thoughts around the same. Today we have the second session, and we have with us Mr. Sushant Sharma, leadership and executive coach. Mr. Sushant Sharma has been with us for a while, and he has appeared in other programs as well. Today we are going to tap his mind and explore his thoughts around the concept of thought leadership. Let us all be aware we are at the beginning of the year, and we are just kind of resetting the economy on various pluses and minuses. The budget is just over, and we thought it could be a good time to tap the minds of the consultants in our panel to see how thought leadership pans out, or what are our thoughts in building up the economy for 2023. With that background, I think we will just start a small, some thoughts on
Sorry. Yes.
some thoughts on the same.
The business outlook for 2023, right?
Right. Let me share my thoughts, and you can continue from there.
Sure.
Right. As we all know that in the last session, we have just talked about the economy in totality, but not gone too deep into the budgets also. Today also, we are not planning to go into the details of the budget because that would be a separate session. But just to give a overview of why the budget is important for the economy at this point in time, it was just over on 1st of February, and how it will recycle the economy from the 1st of April. So let us also remember that the budget of this year is significantly important because it is kind of the last, budget before the next election. Let us remember that the government is going through an election in 2024, and then there won't be a full budget date. The budget will not be fully next year. So this year it's a full budget. So 2023 is very, very significant, and perhaps the last attempts of the government to add up all the milestones, their targets, or whatever it had promised to the people of India. So that way, in the concept, the budget 2023 was very important. Also, it is very exciting for, especially for the Idea Factory, because we do talk about long-term planning, and we know the government has opened up a topic called Amrit Kal, which is a 25-year period starting from 2022, which means the 75th year of the independence to the 100th year of independence. And that's a quite a long, significant period for the economy to jump positions from where it is today to where to that. And this 25 years can actually be broken up into 5 years and of course 1 year. So 2023 is essentially the first year of the Amrit Kal, because the celebrations are just over, and we want to see the impact of this entire 25-year planning that the government has done, and to what extent the pillars are being taken forward year on year. Typically, the Amrit Kal has been defined for to be India to be a technology-based and knowledge-driven economy, which is based on three, pillars, which is the opportunities for the youth, because the youth are the future of the country, and more opportunities for youth are very, very important for the development of this nation. Job creation, as we all know, is a very, very crucial point, and therefore job creation will be an important focus area for this economy to be taken forward, and also a very stable, strong and stable macroeconomic development. These are very important parameters, considering that fact that the COVID has taken us backward by several decades, and we are again resetting ourselves and rebooting ourselves, not only us, India, but the whole world, to take it forward. And that's quite a struggle. As we have discussed in the previous session, the world economy is also not doing well. So India is depending more and more for its own internal growth parameters, strengthening its own pillars to take it forward. Okay. As we all know that the Amrit Kal is dependent on 7 different pillars, and these pillars are being discussed in detail in this year's budget. Now, just to remind of the different pillars, the different pillars are about inclusive development, which means that the society should grow to include everybody from the rich to the poor, to reduce the gap between the rich and the poor, and improve the per capita income of the society. Okay, Infrastructure and investment are very important focus area, because until and unless the government invests in infrastructure or builds up the roads and the highways and the ports and the airlines, airports and all, the whole economy booms. It has a multiplier effect on the development of the economy. Unleashing the potential is to understand the hidden talent of the country, and to improve the potential of the growth by tapping the inherent needs of the country, and also to take the engine of the growth economy forward. Green growth we are talking about, because we know that the whole world is talking about sustainable change, doing away with perishable elements, the old moving to renewable energy, recycled elements, renewable energy, and a lot of initiatives are being taken not only in India but as a part of the global initiative for taking the country towards, to minimize the impact of climate change. Improvement of the financial sector, as we know that the economy, since it's not doing well, there has been a lot of issues of, non-performing assets. Businesses are not able to repay the funds. There are loan elements that are being given to the startup economy, but at the same time, they are not being used that to repay that. The capability to repay loans is in, what should I say, doldrums in the country. And then there would be the other youth power and reaching the last mile. So these are the 7 pillars, and the budget is being built around these 7 pillars. Some of the other thoughts around it is, first of all, we are in a midst of globalization. That when only the global equations are changing, let us also accept that after the COVID and now with the Ukraine war, the global equations are continually changing. Okay, India's equation with the neighboring countries and the world economy, what it was 5 years back is not the same. Some equations have improved, some have deteriorated, and it continuously changes. So it is important for India to understand that globalization as a flavor is here to stay. So India is continuous in the process of collaboration with the outside world, bringing in more and more companies into the system, but at the same time improving its internal inherent capability to improve the country. Okay, as per World Bank, post the COVID, India is the fastest growing economy out of the 7 largest emerging and developing economies. That's a very positive news, because at this point in time, most of the world economies are not doing well. And at that point in time, when India is being recommended, whatever the parameters, the signals are available, that's a very important indicator for the positive growth of the country. Budget also lays down the basic foundation of capacity building, improving the domestic demand, infrastructure development, and improving an overall efficient business environment. These are the basic elements of the budget. So we see the budget in line with the 25-year horizon, in line with the next 5 years. And of course, so these are kind of the building blocks. So we will actually see 25 building blocks in the next 25 years, assuming that the same government continues. Of course, we are assuming on a going concern concept, and we assume that this will, but these are very, very positive elements, because the economy has to be built on a very long period of time, on a 20-25-year period. And also in the budget, the government has put out its own outlay of capital investment on highways, railways, and so many elements of there. And therefore, capital investment clearly has a multiplier effect on the development of the economy. So companies are also encouraged, interested in coming forward to invest their own money in taking the business. And without capital investment, we will the clear signals of those are not visible. So when the government is laying down the basic guidelines of capital investment for 2023-24, we believe that it will have a totally high multiplier effect, and that will attract a very high private investment, both within the country and from outside, to take the country to the next level. With this, backdrop, I would hand over the thoughts over to Mr. Sushant Sharma. Mr. Sushant, if you can add some more thoughts to this.
Yes, Mr. Majumdar, thank you very much for this insightful elaboration on the outlook towards 2023 as far as the Indian business are concerned. See, business leaders across India are optimistic about the economy, right? As far as the Indian economy is concerned, their optimism is still there. According to our 2003 Business Leader Outlook Survey, I would just like to quote one Outlook survey, nearly 2/3 people have a positive outlook about the global economy. That's one thing. And 68% are upbeat about the national economy, which is also a fact. 68% people are upbeat about the national economy. Still, like 61% of business leaders say they expect a recession in 2023. Now, can you believe it? There's going to be a recession. Maybe. I mean, in the world markets are also heading to a recession. Compared with other countries surveyed at the time, leaders with India are less worried about a recession than their counterparts in UK, like which is around more than 70%, United States 65%, but more concerned than leaders in Germany, France, and Australia. Like, I mean, across the world, they are fearing the recession is going to be hitting the markets. The majority of leaders in India are confident in their own companies. The commanding 95% expect their revenues to increase or remain the same in 2023. That's one aspect. However, inflation continues to weigh on businesses. Inflation is going to be there. Sourcing material and shipping goods is also a challenge. 44% said that supply chain pressure have gotten worse over the last 12 months. Supply chain pressure is also going to be there. SCM is there. Retail management is creating a lot of issues. So recession concerns, yes, 61% recession concerns is there. Views on the economy, even with the recession concerns, the majority of leaders have a positive outlook on global economy. Workforce outlook, like, I mean, how the jobs are going to be created, how much jobs are there in the market, and what the fresh the jobs, as whenever we think of recession, there's going to be layoffs also. So more than 3/4 of the business leaders expect to add or keep staff in the coming year. 81% people, to be more precise, 81% people think that there's going to be, at least there's fresh recruitments are going to be happening. And when it comes to capital expenditure, yes, nearly all business, almost 94% expect capital spending on growth will stay the same. Only 6% believe it's going to be dropping. Now, capital expenditures, now land, building, plant, and machinery, all these kind of expenses are going to be there or not. Supply chain, if we talk about, almost half of business say supply chain pressures are worse than they were ago. Means supply chain pressure, there's going to be transactions, there's going to be sales, there's going to be revenue generation. So, of course, supply chain pressure is also going to be there. Then comes to profit snapshot. Most business leaders in India believe the profits will rise in the year ahead. Profits always are going to be there. So, just considering these factors here, Indian business leaders are optimistic. National and regional economies, yes. And their optimism carries over how they feel about their own industry and companies. Business expectations are going to be rising. Profits are there. Capital expenditure, credit needs. When it comes to credit needs, like credit offtake, if we think about how much banks are lending right now, the PSU banks, the private banks, the cooperative banks, the rural cooperative banks, the NBFCs, the non-banking finance companies, everybody's, I mean, they're in the lending business. And what is the kind of returns they're expecting? And what is the kind of percentage when it comes to NPAs, non-performing assets? How much bad debts are they going to be there? So these are the challenges which they are, of course, going to be facing. Business leader in India face several challenges. The persistent inflation, supply chain, tight labor market. These are the challenges which they are facing right now. Automation and moving production, changing pricing models. Of course, pricing models have changed. The go-to-market strategy has changed. Digital media has made a lot of changes in the market. Their strategy has to be changed. The business position, how do they position their product, how they position their services. All these things have taken up. I mean, there's a new relook is required. As far as the 4 Ps of marketing are concerned: product, price, place, promotion. All the 4 aspects have taken a beating on there. Now, what is the cost of doing business? The cost of doing business we talk about, supply chain is there, raw materials there, and energy prices. All these are 3 things. They are increasing. The cost of doing business has increased, and it's going to be increasing further as far as 2023 is concerned. Of course, what are their things which is work location, labor shortage is there, wages benefits are there, our other flexible hours, that's what wages the laborers are expecting, upskilling, retraining, offers, that is what they also expect, the labor forces. What is causing labor shortage in the market? Because as we expect, there's going to be a lot of demand as far as 23 is concerned. People are going to be employed. People are going to be, they need extra manpower also. But why they are not getting manpower? Proper manpower is not getting. Provide flexible work locations. They are demanding. Automation is one thing which has created a lot of, artificial intelligence, machine learning, AI is there, artificial intelligence. At the same time, if IoT of things is there, SaaS is there, software as a service. These things have created a lesser manpower requirement actually. So that business threats, like, what are the top external business threats if you talk about for any business per se? One is competition. Yes, competition is always going to be there. The competition is going to be international also this time. Chinese companies are there. They're giving tough competition to Indian products or Indian services. Cyber security and fraud is also causing a lot of concern. Then energy prices, power prices, cost of debt, access to capital is 13%. The general market volatility is there. Along with general market volatility, you have Russia and Ukraine war, which is also happening right now. It's going on. This is also one of the business threats what we see in coming up years. 95% are considering investing in renewable sources of energy. Cyber attacks have happened last 2 3 years. If you see, a lot of cyber attacks have also happened. Crashing of companies' online services have side. Payment fraud has happened. Business email compromising. These are things which are challenges which are being faced. When it comes to social responsibility, top areas focus with corporate responsibilities. CSR spendings are there, social, environmental, diversity, equity. So these things are creating a lot of things, Timeline to transfer business, which is next 2 years. So with that all, I just like to come back to you and let's take it for the next question, Mr. Majumdar.
Right.
Yes.
It was a wonderful overview on various aspects of the business economy at this point in time. And taking a stock of these situations at this point in time gives us in a very good position to handle the challenges and see what kind of solutions can be taken forward for the economy. With this thought, we will go to the next question. And the next topic, basically, what we are, since we are talking about innovation and ideation process, and that is connected to the economy, the next question that we are going to tackle out here is, as thought leaders, what kind of ideas are we thinking that we can, will help the business grow? With that, I think there are some thoughts that, I have. Maybe I'll just put you into that.
Yes,
Right.
Mr. Majumdar.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Uh, Yeah. Typically, as we all know, that the economy is going through, as I told you, the global equations are changing, and to a large extent, it is believed that the manufacturing power of India has kind of increased post the COVID, and we are trying to play a major role in being manufacturers of various businesses, which were otherwise were going to our neighboring countries. So typically, as we all know, that India has not been very strong on the manufacturing sector, and as such, India's growth has also not been very, very strong. Manufacturing is typically considered, or agriculture, they are basically the pillars of the growth of the economy. And if you have a robust foundation, your services will actually harbor around it. But typically, India is mostly a service economy, and therefore, our agriculture and manufacturing are not so well developed. In this year's economy, in this year's budget, let us also recall that a lot of importance has been given on agriculture, especially the millet growth, and whether this can be, considered as a, with a global footprint, whether this could be exported to the rest of the world. I think let us stop for a moment and understand that this is a very, very, promising thought that has come from the government, because agriculture strengthening and focusing on one particular area, which is the millet, which is so far not been taken forward. Typically, the jowar, the bajra, the millet, the corn, typically the multigrain elements that go into your, chapati or roti, whatever multigrain atta that we prepare today. These are the elements that are being strengthened, and India has been a powerhouse, and this would be actually be taken forward in terms of the agriculture. So a great focus on the in building India as a center point of millets growth is a welcome move by the government together. And similarly, there have been a lot of agricultural steps that have been taken to ensure that agriculture strengthens. Similarly, even on the manufacturing side, there are so many areas where India can actually strengthen its focus, but you cannot put your legs in everywhere. Typically, within the Make in India paraframe, even if you focus on one industry per year, maybe we are talking of one industry in this year, and that industry is being taken to a global standards, that would actually be a great strengthening of the economy. And maybe next year we can take a stock and we can stick to that sector, or we build other sectors also. But typically, time has come to strengthen the manufacturing element of the country. This would create manufacturing jobs, the engineering jobs which have so far been missing. And typically, most of the engineers are software engineers or service engineers or whatever. But typical manufacturing jobs in an air carrier, not the shop floor variety, because India has come a long way. Today, if you go back to those shop floor businesses, typically they have to be air conditioned, automated, CNC controlled. Most modern, plants have to be built up. But then that is the need of the hour. So India has a strong role or an opportunity to play, and to make the Make in India concept a bit more stronger in this through this year's budget. Another thing that we feel And I have talked about it in the past also, that India's customer centricity can be improved. All of us are customers and we buy so many things. And many of the times we are not very satisfied with the kind of service given out by the service providers. And what they promised before and what they sell. And there is a great gap in understanding what the customer wants and vis-a-vis the customer is ultimately delivering. Also, it is also the customer that drives the business. So if you do not strengthen the customer focus, your business ultimately today, tomorrow will not go the shape that you wanted. So typically, we believe that there is a great opportunity for customers to stay focused. Topic about global centers of excellence, we have already touched upon the topic in the first point, but typically India is today is in a position to focus on two, three areas where it can build global centers of excellence, which means that we are the center point. We are the great, come to or a go-to country for certain areas, and we should be the most developed in those areas. Okay, I think we have dependent on the rest of the world for a very long period of time. We should be able to build up certain global centers of excellence where the world should come to us for that product, for that process. And we have talked about job creation before and in various parameters. Let me also do kind of a repeat that I'm talking of, that India needs to create a job creation database or a dashboard where nationally we should know what kind of jobs are being created by what company, what industry, and to what extent it is helping the youth of the nation, and the promise that each of the companies are doing when they start the business, are they keeping up with the promises? Similarly, when the government is coming, it is also making a promise that we are going to create a job base. Is there a dashboard to see, monitor, measure, analyze the kind of jobs that are available in the market? In spite of the fact that we have such a strong dashboard mechanism, look at the COVID, dashboards that are ready with us. Look at the telecom dashboards that are ready with us. Why don't we create create awareness that jobs have to be created by most of the businesses? And what is the whatever is there a national center point where all these jobs will get added up, just like it happens in the US and developed economies on a monthly basis. They talk about the kind of jobs that have been created, what kind of jobs have been created, how much of it is government, how much of it is private, how much of it is startups and MSMEs. So we get a complete control and we can monitor, manage the kind of jobs that we have. These are some of the thoughts that I have. And let us also talk about the economy. We are talking of a very strong economy in the next 20-25 years. We are talking about a $26 trillion economy in 2047, which is the end of the Amrit Kal. But in the intermediate, we have been talking about $5 trillion in 2023-24, but that perhaps is not happening. As of now, current value of the economy is about $3.5. So we have to create certain milestones for the next 5 years, 10 years. I think today in 2035, we are talking about $10 trillion economy. Let us target these figures and let us see whether we can work around these figures, assuming that COVID is over and we are starting afresh and we have got the next 25 years in our hand. Can we build up the economy on a year-on-year basis and take it to the targeted levels over the next 5 years or 10 years or whatever? These are some thoughts around the growth of or strengthening of the business landscape from my side. My thoughts to Mr. Sushant Sharma, if you can add some points around it.
Well, sorry, beautifully captured from your end. Just to add few things here, the first is landscaping business. If we talk about, the first and foremost is, there's an 80-20 rule. You need to retain existing clients first of all. The most important is 80% of work is coming from 20% of your clients. Let's accept it. In this case, it is vital to maintain a good relationship with the clients, be the face of your company, touch base with your customer, very important. Be the face of your company, touch base with the customer, ask questions, relevant, pertinent questions. Listen to your client, very important. Listen to their requirements. What are they exactly wishing to have, the kind of product or service they want? How can you improve? You must keep your loyal customers in order to have a foundation to build a growing business on. That's first important thing. Second is start early. Like as early as you start going early in spring. The nature of landscaping business, depending on where you're located, is that you have to make the most of these springs, summer and fall months. Take this time to get ahead of your competitors, start rolling out various ads, find clients, walk door to door spreading, the road of a card or brochure, anything like that. You need to spread that word of mouth. The goodwill about your business speaks a lot. The goodness, there's no shame in asking your customers to pass the word along. Choose a lawn care company is a big deal. Most people want to hire a company that has good rapport with the trusted friends. So have a good, good word about your company. Image building is very important. Tell your clients you appreciate your business, ask them to tell others. Have a contest. Whoever gets the most referrals in your month as wins an iPad. Like some kind of referral business can be worked out. So these are things, which definitely can bring rebranding yourself. If you have a website, there's no harm in revamping your website also. Like how much, what kind of, today's social media SME platform, how much that is, search engine optimization, if it's there, your digital media presence, via Instagram, Facebook, how you're marketing your business all about. What kind of a digital media presence you have. Google ads are there, like various other websites, there's a proper lead generation business. So that is something you can definitely work it out that way. So start a blog, use Twitter and other things. So सुनो एक बार फोन आ रहा है सलील भैया का देखना सलील भैया का फोन है सॉरी जस्ट start a blog, use Twitter. So these things are there, starting a blog, Twitter, Facebook. This is how you make a lot of that. Offer classes, be responsive, build a team. Very important thing is what kind of a team you want to build. A like-minded people are there, which are, in the pursuit of a common goal. As your business grows, you need to hire employees. Whether you're hiring someone part-time to do paperwork or looking to expand your manpower on the job. Putting together a good team is essential. Make sure to do a background check on each worker. Like it's very important because I have seen various startups business not doing well only because there were not enough people around. The good team. Hire people who encapsulate the traits that you will know will cause your business to thrive and don't settle. That's how it is in this. Numbers and get organized. Organization depends. Create an entrepreneurial environment and diversify. Diversification is important. Changing things. If you're strictly serving residential properties, consider branching out to commercial properties. Like, focus is important. What kind of a, drive and take a niche out of your business. Having a niche is very important. And expand your expertise. And this is how it is. So coming back to you again. Yes. Mr. Majumdar, are you there?
Right. I think you're putting all the thoughts in a very, very crisp and clear way, and these are indeed helpful for businesses that would take their businesses forward, especially when we are at the beginning of the year. Let us come back to another point. Since we are talking about thought leadership and we are in the Idea Factory, you have seen that we have been building up the blocks of innovation, thought leadership over the period of time with our discussions, whatever we are having. And I think we have we want to shift here. We are shifting here how to improve our own services to the customers. And since you are also associated with us with the Idea Factory for a long period of time, and we are working together. Maybe it is time for us to pick up your thoughts and as to how Idea Factory should, take the concept of thought leadership forward, or what are the, new areas of applications of Idea Factory which you think can be looked at from our side. I mean, I would leave that to you because generally I talk about Idea Factory all the time. But typically, once in a while, it's important for us to pick the minds of consultants also to see if there's any fresh idea coming up from your side. Okay, so over to you.
Well, first of all, let me congratulate you, Mr. Majumdar. You're doing a wonderful job as far as these bringing these people together, and as far as bringing these consultants together. And see, it's the journey. I strongly believe in one thing that journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Right? When you say that, the journey is much longer. Than what we started, and everybody starts. Every big idea starts like this only. The what matters from here is how much effort you're putting onto it, what kind of efforts you're putting on making it, and what are the expectations? Are we able to meet the expectations of any customer or any person who is coming to us? What is the kind of value creation is being done from our end? Like, I mean, we talk about Idea Factory. What kind of service we are doing here? And it comes to serving entrepreneurs. What are the entrepreneurs' requirements? Let's just focus on what exactly they need. How can we be supportive of that? What is the kind of value addition we can bring here? Value addition in terms of funding, yes. We have a panel of consultants. We can tell them how to raise funds, where to raise funds, whom to approach, when to approach, and what is the go-to-market strategy. How do you think you will be approaching them? in terms of raising funds, in terms of preparing a pitch deck, in terms of preparing a sustainable business plan. When it comes to, like 2 years, 3 years sustainable business plan, that's very important. Another, along with that, what kind of products they are dealing with, the services are there. Do they need sales and marketing support? Yes. As an incubator, Idea Factory can give the sales and marketing support to them. Yes, we can train them, we can teach them. We are a panel of consultants, we are a panel of trainers. We can definitely give the training also to them, the required training in terms of manpower, in terms of productivity, in terms of sales training, customer engagement, service orientation. There are a lot of things we can definitely train them on. Then legal, patent, trademarks, rights. Yes, we have people, panel of experts. We can definitely engage them there as well. So these are the few things where definitely Idea Factory can add a lot of value. And this is what they actually need, right? The startups also need not just GAN, along with the GAN, they need proper hand holding. Like, take me there, be there. And, we are the people who have been there, done that. So experience, expertise makes a lot of difference. So that's what Idea Factory is can be doing. And I'm right now also, I'm sure that it's doing a wonderful job. So all the best to you guys. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. In fact, just to add to your point, I generally do network a lot and I talk to a lot of people. And one of my known people in my network, they were actually talking about consultants abroad. And they were employing a lot of consultants. And the general impression that they come from the consultants is that consultants do not get their hands dirty, which means that they actually give the advisory docket to the clients and leave the client to do it for themselves. Which, whereas where Idea Factory is being planned, because we want to work with the clients, handhold them, and be partners to them till they achieve their results. I think there has been a very long period of time consultants are, more as advisors to the organizations, and implementation is largely left to the organization. Idea Factory wants to change that, and we want to work with our clients. We want to, handhold them, and we are there with them till they reach the finishing line. I think that's the concept that we are trying to bring in. So we are actually working closely with all our clients, talking to them, giving suggestions, ideas, but also being part of the implementation journey for the pilot project. Because the pilot is the biggest challenge. Once you get the pilot right, I mean, you can scale it up. The business has the power and capability to scale it up. But it is important for us to work with the client on the pilot projects and to see that the fresh or the new idea that we had planned at the beginning, to what extent we can convert that into reality with at least 100 customers. Okay, if we can get that right, of course, that can be scaled up for 1 lakh customers, etc. Provided there's a back and forth movement of ideas and suggestions from the clients with the company. We are a dynamic, we believe in a dynamic process, and we believe that the client also has to be dynamic vis-a-vis their customers. Okay, so basically there has to be a cross flow of ideas, information, suggestions between the client and the corporate, or between our clients and us. And that will help everyone to improve their own offerings or suggestions, and a fresh new idea can come from anywhere. The fresh idea, and we generally do talk, the fresh idea can come from a consultant, from the client himself, the employees that they work on, the fresh entrant that they bring in, the supply chain guys, the investors, or the customers. Anybody in the ecosystem can give a fresh idea, and whether the company and whether we have a platform wherein we capture such new ideas to improve or impact the marketplace. As we told you, that customer focus, if you look at that area, there's a lot of improvement possibilities within that. And if that area is tackled, the business automatically gets stronger. Because if you make the customers happy, you will get for your repeat sales, you will get for your word of mouth marketing, and everything will improve in place. No amount of marketing, social media, digital marketing will do the work. What a client speaks for you, what our client will speak for us, or what their clients will speak for them. So typically, a good referral is a clear indication of what the customer is, and we are working in those directions. I think with this as the backdrop, I think today's Thought Leadership Conclave, comes to a conclusion, and we thank our viewers to watch the video, and to come with their own thoughts and ideas, and to see if that the work that we have started, whether we can help the businesses to grow further. Any further point to add, Mr. Sharma?
Thank you so much. Like this has been, and I'm sure this is going to be quite informative for the audience who are going to watch this. And further, they can reach out to us. They can contact us for whatever the needs that they have. and would be happy to help them always. Wishing all the best. And this being the first session of 2023, we look forward for having more fruitful associations going forward. Right?
Right.
Yes.
It is very important to highlight also, we are coming with a new program in February itself. And, that's an important, that's on the business growth, and that is meant for customers like yours who have challenges, who have pain points, and something which we are working on. So if you notice our, dashboard or our social media platform, we have come up with, the plan of that, and we would expect our customers to come forward and avail of the guidance or the support that we are offering to them. And with that, that's a closure from our side. Thank you everyone for being in that. We'll be back shortly with better and better programs. Thank you everyone.
Thank you.